Very good afternoon to all. Myself, Dr. Vijay Nirmala, Associate Professor in the Department of Management Studies, Adi Shankara Group of Institutions. In the previous class, we have discussed about the basics of operations research, and in that already we have discussed what are the models, right? In that we have various models to solve the problems in operations research. That the brief introduction was completed in the previous session. And in the among the models, the first model is linear programming problems formulation, LPP. We call it as LPP, linear programming problems. Okay, and this is the topic that we are going to discuss today. This is there in your first unit in operations research for MBA second semester students. Now, let us see what is a linear programming. Can you tell me what is linear? Can anybody tell me what is a linear? Okay. Linear programming. So this linear programming mainly it deals with optimization. You know what is optimization, right? What is optimization, ma? Maximizing the profits and minimizing the cost. We call it as maximization or minimization. That is said to be optimization. Okay. Optimization is maximization or minimization of the problems of a function of variables are said to be objective functions, so when we are discussing about these terminology, so note these terminologies, ma. Optimization, objective function, these everything you need to keep in mind. Okay, optimization, it deals with the optimization with a function of the variables. So the set of variables are called as the objective functions. So this LP is subject to the set of linear equalities and as well as inequalities, which is called as constraints. We call them as constraints, and these can be of linear equalities or inequalities, whatever it may be. We call them as the constraints. So in this LPP, it will be consists of objective functions and constraints, combination of linear equality and inequality. And also, it is a mathematical technique which involves the allocation of the limited resources. It involves the allocation of limited resources in an optimal manner, in an optimal manner, that is on the basis of the given criteria of optimality. You need to test whether the solution is optimal or not. So that is called as optimality criteria. Okay, so in this LPP we are discussed, if you move to the next slide, LPP is discussed in two ways. One is graphical method and the other one is simplex method. So when do we use graphical method and when do we use simplex method? That is only when you use only two variables. If the two variables are only involved, then at that time we use graphical method. It is applicable, graphical method is applicable only when two variables are involved, that is x1 and x2. If more than that, the variables are being involved, we can't go with graphical method. So then if more than two variables are involved, we use this simplex method. So the many number of variables are involved in simplex method. Now you understood, ma? These are discussed in two ways. So these two we will discuss. In your exam point of view, if they wants to ask about graphical method, they used to ask solve the problem, LPP problem, by using graphical method. By using graphical method. In that way, they used to ask you. Or else, simply they used to tell about solve the problem by using simplex method. So these are the two ways. And now let us see what is a linear. Linear. Now let us discuss. It is a linear in the sense it is a form of a mathematical expression. Linear in the sense it is a form of mathematical expressions, right? And in that you can see the example. If for example, the equation like a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus and so on plus an xn. So this is called as a mathematical expression. And in that x1, x2 and so on xn are said to be variables, whereas a1, a2 and so on an are called as constants, right? You know this about this. X1, x2 and so on xn are the variables. Okay, and a1, a2 and so on an are called as the constants. Okay, so this is a mathematical expression is said to be linear. Now let us see what is a programming. What is a programming? So programming in the sense it refers to the process of determining a particular program, determining a particular program or a plan of action. A plan of action. So programming in the sense it is the process of designing how a program is, how a particular program is in process or regarding the plan of action. That is called programming. Now let us see what is LPP, linear programming problem. This is a technique of optimizing. Already I have discussed there. It is maximizing or minimizing. Maximize what you maximize, ma? Maximize of profits. What you minimize? Minimizing of cost. That you know that optimizing. So this LPP is a technique of optimizing a linear function of variables. It is used to optimize what it optimizes, a linear function of variables, and those variables are said to be objective function. Those are said to be objective function. So subject to a set of linear equations and inequalities called as constraints, or you call it as restrictions also. You call them as restrictions also. Okay, so this LPP, the graphical method, it is used, you already I have said that in this we use the graphical method. If there are two variables, we use this one. If there are more than two, we move with simplex method. And this simplex method was developed by Z. Danzig, D-A-N-T-Z-I-Z, D. Danzig in 1947, and made generally available in 1951. So it has started in 1947 by G. Danzig. This was developed by him, but it came into existence in the year 1951. Okay. Now, if this is about linear programming, you came to know what is a linear, what is programming, and what is linear programming problem. Now, let us see how you formulate this LP problems, linear programming problems. We need to formulate, right? Then to formulate this, how you can do. So the first one is objective function. First of all, you have to know objective function. So what is the objective function? This is a linear relationship which is reflecting the objective of an operation. Simply, I tell you, the most frequent objective is, we will be having only two objectives. One is to maximize profits or to minimize cost. In simple, we will be having maximization problems or minimization problems. You need to identify the problem. You need to study the problem first, and you need to identify whether the problem is maximization problem or whether the problem is minimization problem. That you need to identify first. Okay. So first, what is when you formulate LPP, the first one is you have to know what is objective function, and the next one is decision variable. The decision variable. So that is an unknown quantity. Decision variable is an unknown quantity is representing a decision that you don't know that the quantity is unknown, right? So that an unknown quantity is representing a decision that needs to be made. So for that unknown quantity, you need to give some name. For example, x and y, or x1 and x2. Generally, you need to give why, because it is an unknown quantity. Let x1 is equal to, or let y1 let x2 is equal to. In that way, you used to give the names. That is a decision variable. It represents a decision that needs to be made. So it is the quantity that the model needs to determine. It is the quantity that the model needs to determine. So those are decision variables. First, you have to know, you have to write objective function, and next you have to know the decision variables, and the next one is constraint. The next one is constraint, a linear relationship representing a restriction on decision making. That already in decision making you have written to those decision variables, right? X1 or X2, that you have written, and among that they used to keep some restrictions. Already we know that among the availability of resources only, we used to solve the problem by using operations research. So those are some restrictions in the problem. They used to give some restrictions. Those you need to identify, and those restrictions are said to be constraints. What are the constraints in decision making? Okay. So next, while you are forming this LPP problems, what are the steps involved? So there are some steps which involves linear programming problems. The one is define the objectives. First one, define the objective, minimum or maximum. Next, what is the second one? Define the decision variables. Define the decision variables, that is x1 or x2, that you have to define. And write, based on this, you need to write a mathematical function. Mathematical function for the objectives that you have wrote. That is, you have decided whether it is maximization or minimization, right? So based on that, generally this is defined with the terminology Z. Max Z is equal to max Z is equal to, or minimum Z is equal to. In that way we used to write. Okay. Next, based on that, after writing the mathematical function, you need to write the constraints. You need to write the constraints, and the constraints can be, see, three ways. One is less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, or greater than or equal. So the constraints can be of any three: less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to form. These can be in different ways. Now let us see step 1. Write down the decision variables of the problem. So whatever the problem given to you, in that you need to write the decision variables. And the next one, you need to formulate the objective function which is to be optimized, which is to be, you have to write the objective function which is to be optimized. That is, it is maximization profits or minimization costs, that you need to mention. First, you have to write the decision variables and you have to write the objective function. And in step 3, you need to formulate the other conditions of the problem. You know, whatever the if it has having any restrictions or if it is having any limitations or constraints or any interrelationships between the variables. So in that terminology, you need to write the constraints. You need to write the constraints in the step 3. And also in step 4, you need to add non-negativity constraint. You need to add non-negativity constraint. That is also very important, ma. In the 4th step, you need to add, not only writing the constraints, you need to add non-negativity constraints. So that the negative values of the decision variables do not have any physical interpretation. That is, whatever the values, whatever the variables that you use, those must always be non-negative. That is, it means that these are always greater than or equal to 0. It is non-negative in the sense it is positive, right? So the values, the variables, whichever you use is always non-negative. That is, it is always greater than or equal to 0. Hence, the objective function, the set of constraints and the non-negative constraints, all these 3 together form LPP. All these things together, they will form LPP. I think you understood, ma. Now, let us see. See, these are the 3 things that we have to write. Now, let us see how the general formulation of LPP will be there. So, in order to find the values, that if n decision variables are there, ma, for example, if n decision variables are there, that are x1, x2 and so on, xn, okay, and these are used to maximize or minimize the objective function. These are used to maximize or minimize the objective function. Then how you have to write z? So see, the linear programming, what you have to write is z is equal to C1. How many variables are there? Decision variables are there? You can write in your problem. So z is, you can write in your notes. Z is equal to C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus and so on plus Cn xn. This is called objective function. This is called objective function and it is denoted by z. It is denoted by z. Okay, so based on the decision variables, you used to write C1 x1. So next, the general formulation of LPP is, it also should satisfy m constraints. The first one, what we said, the first one is, you have written maximization, right? You have written Ankita is in waiting room. Already it will allow, ma. Monica, it will allow. You can see. Ask her to rejoin again. So the first one is, the first objective function is z is equal to C1 x1 plus C2 x2 and so on plus Cn xn. Next, you need to write, once you have written z, you need to write constraints, right? You need to write constraints. Subject to, you have to write subject to the constraints that they need to satisfy m constraints. You can see A11 x1, plus a12x2 and so on plus a1nxn, it may be less than or equal to or equal to or greater than or equal to. Okay, 3 are there here with b1 less than or equal to or equal to or greater than or equal to b1. In the same way, a21x1 plus a22x2 plus and so on a2nxn or less than or equal to, greater than or equal to or equal to b2. Whatever it may be, they can write. It's greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Anything we can write in this problem. In similar way, ai1x1 plus ai2x2 plus and so on ainxn less than or equal to or greater than or equal to bi. And the next one, the last, scroll up to m constraints, right? am1x1 plus am2x2 and so on plus amnxn less than or equal to or greater than or equal to bm. So all these equations, that is m constraints, are in second one. This is the second step. The first step is framing z, right? Framing decision variable, that is z, maximization z or minimization z, that you will write. In the second step, subject to m constraints, you have to write how many they used to give, those constraints you need to write. And the next one, the third step is where the constraints may be in the form of inequality, that is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, or even in the form of even it forms an equation that is equal to also. And all these, they should satisfy non-negative restrictions. So whatever it may be, in the constraints you have written x1, x2 and so on, xm less than or equal to or greater than or equal to b1. x1 yeah, a21 x1, a22 x2 and so on a2n xn are less than or equal to b2. In the same way, am1 x1, whatever it may be, greater than or even though it may be an inequality function, but you must be sure that the variables which you use are non-negative restrictions, which you use are non-negative restrictions. That is important, that you have to see. Now let us see this is the third one. So okay, 3 equations you need to write. One is maximize z, this is the first one, and the second one is you have to write the constraints, and the third one is you have to write the non-negative restrictions. Non-negative restrictions that you have, how many variables you use, for those you will write greater than or equal to 0. That is the thing in the third one. The third step is easy, and the first step and second step we need to remember. Next, let us see the problem. First problem chuddam. Okay, this is an example. There are 2 products. One is chairs, and this is the problem. This is the problem. Okay, but to understand, I have given like this. In your exam you don't get like this, you will get it as a problem. Say chinnappudu question ela vastundi, in that way you used to get. So there are 2 products, one is chairs and the other one is tables. One company is producing 2 products, and the decision is how many of each to make this month. In this month, how many chairs you have to make and how many tables you have to make, that is the decision. Okay, there is one company that it is producing chairs and tables, and it want to decide how many of each, that is how many chairs in this month you have to get, you have to produce, and how many tables you have to produce in this month. In this month, that you need to decide. That is decision. That is decision. So for this, the main objective is it a maximization function or minimization? What they asked in the decision, how many of each to make this month? So the objective is to maximize profit. The objective is to maximize profit. That also they have given. There are 2 products, and in this month, how many products each should be produced is the decision that we have to know. And the objective is to maximize profits. Now see, this is the problem that they have given. This is a table. This is a table. This, can I use whiteboard? Can I use? No, I think. Yeah. So see the problem. You need tables. How many products they are producing? One is tables and other one is chairs. So 2 variables are there here, right? 2 variables, tables and chair. And the profit contribution is 7 rupees per each table, 5 rupees per each chair. 5 rupees per each chair. This is the profit contribution, ma. Ante if you prepare one table, you get 7 rupees profit. If you prepare one chair, you get 5 rupees. You get 5 rupees. So that is profit contribution that they have said. Next, to prepare table or chair, you require carpentry work and painting work, right? So to prepare one table, it takes 3 hours carpentry work. It takes 3 hours carpentry work. అంటే ఒక టేబుల్ తయారు చేయడానికి కార్పెంటరీ పని 3 గంటలు పడుతుందంటమ్మా. 3 గంటలు చేస్తే నీకు ప్రాఫిట్ ఎంత అని చెప్తున్నాడు? ఇట్ ఈస్ 7 rupees. And the next one, if you prepare chair, the carpentry work is how much time the carpentry work takes? 4 hours. It takes 4 hours. Okay. And in the same way, coming to the painting work. So if you want to paint a table, it takes 2 hours time for table and 1 hour time for chair. 1 hour time for chair. One is carpentry work and the painting work, right? You are understanding. I think you are at, this is the data given. And next, come this side, ma. Hours available. So the total hours available for carpentry work in this month, right? They have asked in this month. So in this month, the total available hours for carpentry work is 2,400. And the total available hours for painting is 1,000 rupees. Is 1,000 rupees. Did you understand the table first? This is the data given for us, ma. Tables and chairs. And what you have to decide, ma? What we have to decide in the previous one, they have how many how many tables can we make and how many chairs should we prepare in this month. And then it takes 30 days time. So in 30 days, how many tables you have to prepare and how many chairs you have to prepare. And the data they given to you is, if you prepare one table, you get 7 rupees profit. If you prepare one chair, you get 5 rupees profit. And the available time is for carpentry work, there is 2,400 hours and 1,000 hours for painting. And each to prepare a single table, it takes 3 hours carpentry work, 2 hours painting work. To prepare the chair, it takes 4 hours carpentry work and 1 hour painting work. So this is the data that they have given. I think you understood, right? Next, coming to the other limitations. Previous slide. Move to the previous slide. And there are, see, and among that, they have given still some more limitations, that restrictions they have said some restrictions that make no more than 450 chairs. What they said, ma? In an month, they should not prepare more than 450 chairs. You should not prepare more than 450 chairs. అంటే 450 chairs కన్నా మీరు ఎక్కువ చేయటానికి లేదు అని చెప్పేశాడు. in a month. And the other restriction is you need to make at least 100 tables. At least అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా 100 tables ఖచ్చితంగా చేయాలి. That is the minimum target. Other than that, at least 100 in the sense you have to prepare 100. Other than that, you can prepare more. You can prepare more. అంటే 100 కన్నా ఎక్కువ చేసుకోవచ్చు మీరు. But other than below 100, you should not prepare అని చెప్పాడు. Right? And for when you come to chairs, what he said, ma? ఎన్నైనా చేసుకో, but the limit is 450 only. You should not prepare more than 450 chairs. You should not prepare more than 450 chairs అని చెప్పాడు. I think you understood the problem. So this is the problem that they have given, ma. They have given the data and they have said whether it is a problem, maximization problem or minimization problem. That also we have understood, and restrictions also they have given. Can you say whether it is a maximization profit or minimization cost? ఏది ఇది అని చెప్పగలరా? సింపుల్ మా. ఇన్ ద టేబుల్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ప్రాఫిట్ అనేది కనిపిస్తే ఇట్ మీన్స్ దాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ maximization problem. If the problem, you have studied the problem and if you have identified in the data they have given related to cost గురించి ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, it means that the problem is minimization problem. That you have to remember. Ante problem, when you study the problem and if you understand and if anything is there in the data regarding the profit, so in this data you have seen that profit contribution. The word you have seen that profit. The profit anindante undi ante it means that if you see the profit in the data, that is a maximization problem. Ante, there is no doubt in that. And if you see cost అనేది వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, it means that it is minimization problem. ఆదాయం ఖర్చు. Okay, when you are studying you can see the data, but it is important that you have to read the entire data. Now let us see the solution for this data. How you have to prepare. The first one, what you have to do, ma? The first one is decision variables, right? In that I have said you have to write objective functions and next you need to decide decision variables annanu. But we will write first, you decide what are the variables. Let T be the number of tables. We don't know, right? We don't know the variables, right? You can call x1 be the number of tables, but manaku antodle. First manam em anukundaam, how many products are there, ma? There are 2 products. What are they? One is a table and the other one is chair, right? So let T be the number of tables that is to be made. We don't know, right, how many tables you have to make. So let it be T. Let it be T. And let C be the number of chairs to be made. అంటే ఎన్ని తయారు చేయాలనేది మనకు తెలియదు, అందుకని మనకు తెలియని వాటిని we call it as x1 and x2. But for your understanding, for up to this problem, I will take let the decision variables be T, that the number of tables to be made in this month, and let C be the number of chairs that is to be made this month. So that is the decision variable. You have decided how many variables, right? How many products will be there, that much of variables will be there. That is the only okay. And the next one is objective function. By reading the data, you came to know that whether it is a maximization or minimization problem. So what is the data? What is the data related to? It is maximization profit, right? It is maximization profit. So what you have to do is maximize. Z is equal to maximize. You have to write the objective function. maximize Z is equal to how many rupees ma for table? 7 rupees, right? And for chair it is 5 rupees. So maximize Z is equal to 7T plus 5C. This is the objective function. This is the objective function. If it is minimization, minimum Z is equal to 70 plus 5C. That in that way you have to write. That way you have to write. So maximize Z is equal to 70 plus 5C. Did you understand, Ra? Are you writing the problem or not? I have to know. You can chat, at least you can type in the chat box. Yeah, you are writing. Very good. Have you wrote the table, right? Yes. In the solutions, the first one, decision variables. Write the decision variables. Let it be. Let T is equal to the number of tables to make. And let C is equal to number of chairs to be made. And the next one is objective function. So what is the problem related to? Either it is maximization profit or minimization profit, that you have to understand and write. And this data is related to maximization. So maximize Z is equal to 7T plus 5C. Have you wrote? Next, shall we move to the next slide? What after this, what you have to write? Constraints. What you have to write? Constraints. So to write the constraints, see how many hours are there for to make carpentry. Carpentry time available is how much? 2,400. 2,400. And how much time it will take to prepare a single table? 3 hours. And how many hours it will take to prepare a single chair? How many hours it will take to prepare can you move to the 15th slide? Yeah, please. I think you are confusing. Yeah, see in this slide, how many hours it will take to complete a table? 3 hours, right? How many hours it will take to complete a chair? 4 hours, right? So what you have to do is 3T. How you have to write the equation is 3T, that is 3 tables plus 4 chairs. 4 chairs. So you have to write the constraint as 3 tables plus 4 chairs are less than or equal to 2,400. Right? You can move to the 17th slide now. 3 tables plus 4 chairs is less than or equal to 2,400. Right? Did you understand the constraint how you have wrote? There is that available time is 2,400. The available time, what is the available time? 2,400. So, to prepare 3 tables, to prepare some X tables in 3 hours and to prepare some Y chairs, to prepare some Y chairs in 4 hours. So, the combination, right, these two will take how much time? It is less than 2,400 or equal to 2,400 but not greater than 2,400. Ante kadamma unna time 2,460 hourlo. So unte దానికన్నా తక్కువ చేయాలి లేకపోతే సమానంగా అన్నా చేయాలి. అంతేగాని 2,400 అవర్ల కన్నా ఎక్కువ చేయగలమా? Your class hours are 6 hours, 5 hours daily. After 4:30, can you take the class? You can't take, right? So after 2,400 hours, there is no time. You have the time limit. That is, you have the time constraint of only 2,400. So what you have to do to prepare a table for 3 hours? So 3 hours time for a table plus 4 hours time for a chair. So the combination must be less than or equal to 2400. Must be less than or equal to 2400. And the next one is, what is the next constraint? You have 1000 hours of painting time available. 1000 hours of the painting time available. So in the 15th slide, you can see for painting a chair, how much time it will take? 2 hours. For painting a table, it will take 2 hours time. And for painting a chair, it takes 1 hour time. So, but how many hours are available? Only 1000 hours are available. So, what we can write? 2 hours time for a table plus 1 hour time for a chair is less than or equal to 1000. అక్కడ less than or equal to ఎందుకు పెట్టాము అనేది అర్థమైందమ్మా? Did you understand? In the data they have given, the available time is only 2400 for carpentry work, 1000 for painting work అని already ఇచ్చేసాడు. So he has given a restriction that you have only this much of time, and within this you have to prepare some tables with 3 hours each and some chairs with 4 hours each for carpentry work, and some tables. అక్కడ some అని ఎందుకు ఉంటున్నానంటే that only you have to find out. That is the answer, right? Let x1 and x2. But here for easy understandable, I am telling about T and C. But generally we use x1 and x2, and some they may use x and y also. Let x variables and y variables. So, but here only to understanding point of view, I am telling about T and C. Okay. Did you understand the constraints, ma? 2400 hours time available for carpentry work and 1000 hours of painting time available. Right now, if you move to we have wrote the constraints, right? And still there are more constraints that they have written. What are the more constraints? You can move to the 15th slide. In the 15th slide, you can see, see that other limitations also they have given. Other than the restrictions, other than the constraints given, they have given some more other limitations. That is depending upon the problem. Other limitations అనేది problem ని బట్టి ఇవ్వచ్చు ఇవ్వకపోవచ్చు. Okay, but here they have given other than 2400 is one constraint, 1000 is another constraint. There also it can be wind up. So based on the problem, what they said is there are some more limitations. What they said, you should not make no more than 450 chairs in a month. So నువ్వు ఎన్నైనా చెయ్యి, 450కి మించకూడదు. You can make the chairs, but it should not be more than 450 chairs. They are talking about chairs, right? See in the chairs. Now let us come to the 18th slide. Yeah, see, a more constraint that make no more than 450 chairs. In the sense, it means that the chairs must be equal to 450 or less than 450. Am I right? Am I making the sense? Did you understanding the constraint? Make no more than 450 chairs. 450 కుర్చీల కన్నా ఎక్కువ చేయటానికి లేదు అంటే 450 కూడా చేయొచ్చు అని, అంతేనా అమ్మా? అంతకన్నా తక్కువ చేసినా ఏం ఇబ్బంది లేదు, కానీ 450కి మించకూడదు అని చెప్తున్నాడు. సో యు మస్ట్ మేక్ no more than 450 chairs. In the sense, the constraint will be C less than or equal to 450. C enduku cheppamma? The constraint is given only for chairs, right? So this is one constraint, that is C less than or equal to 450. And what is the other constraint? You have to make at least 100 tables. You have to make at least 100 tables. Yeah, you can make at least 100 tables. అంటే at least అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా 100 చేయాలి. ఖచ్చితంగా 100 చేయాలి. బిలో 100 you should not do అని అంతేనమ్మా. ఫస్ట్ దానికి above 450 you should not do. In the second constraint, what they are saying? Below 100. What are they? Those 100, either it is tables or chairs? Tables. So below 100, you should not prepare tables. You should prepare tables more than 100. That is the constraint. Now let us come to the 18th slide. See, make at least 100 tables. So 100 tables ఖచ్చితంగా చేయాలంటే always the T must be always equal to 100 or greater than 100 అని అంతేనా కదా. The tables must be at least 100. At least అంటే you have to prepare equal to 100 or greater than 100 but not less than 100. So మనం ఏం రాసాం? T is greater than or equal to 100. T is greater than or equal to 100. Did you understand these constraints, ma? Make no more than 450 chairs, in the sense C must be less than or equal to 450. C must be less than or equal to 450. And the next constraint is make at least 100 tables. And whatever the T that you have decided, that you have to make at least 100. It means it must be equal to 100 or greater than 100 but not less than 100. But not less than 100. So T is greater than or equal to 100. T is greater than or equal to 100. Now did you understand, ma? These more constraints. Already we have wrote the constraints and they have said about more constraints. Now the last one is non-negativity. That also, yeah, in this only, in the 18th slide. The other one is non-negativity. Can the chairs or tables that we have decided can be negative? 100 tables, 450 chairs, we are saying. Minus 100 tables untayama? Minus 450 chairs untaya? Will it be there? Whatever the chair that you prepare, it is more than 0. Am I right? It is more than 0. Avuna kada? So what are the non-negative functions that you have to write? What are the non-negative functions that you have to write? So whatever the things that you have decided, that is you have framed, no? Yeah, 16th slide, the decision variables. The decision variables you have decided, one is T and one is C, right? You only have decided. And what is the T? That the number of tables that you make in that month. C is number of chairs that you make in that month. So T gani C gani less than 0 or equal to 0 untaya? 0 undachu. It can be 0, but it is not less than 0. Minus 2 tables, minus 450 tables untayama? మామూలుగా మనకి మ్యాథ్స్ లో ఉంటాయి కానీ టేబుల్స్ when you take a decision on tables, it is always greater than 0 or equal to 0. అసలు లేవు టేబుల్స్ లేవు అని అన్నా చెప్పొచ్చు కానీ నా దగ్గర -2 tables ఉన్నాయి, -450 tables ఉన్నాయి అని చెప్పగలమా? We can't tell. So whatever the non-negative, that whatever the decision variables you have taken, those must always be greater than or equal to 0. That you have to remember. Greater than or equal to 0. Next, come to the 16. Come to the next slide, 18th slide. See, the non-negativity is it cannot make a negative number of chairs. It cannot make a negative number of chairs. Or can you prepare I have prepared minus 450 tables. Can you say? I have prepared minus 90 tables. Can we say? No, you can't say. So the T value, so the tables or the chairs must be always greater than or equal to 0. This is the non-negativity. Now let's come to the next slide. So in this way, this is the model of LPP. In this way, you have to write model of LPP. Maximize. There you have to put Z. Maximize capital Z. Maximize Z is equal to 7T plus 5C. Subject to the constraints that you have to write. When you are framing the LPP, you have to write subject to the constraints 3T plus 4C less than or equal to 2400, 2T plus 1C less than or equal to 1000, less than or equal to 1000, and other than that, we have some more constraints that C must be less than or equal to 450 and T must be greater than or equal to 100, where T comma C must always be greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0. I think you understood this model. Yeah. Do you have any doubts? Are you writing this or not? I don't know. No student is responding. You can at least type in the chat box. I can understand. Yeah, with this today's session that I am going to close. This is how you write the formulation of LPP, and from tomorrow we'll discuss the other problem. Okay, thank you all. You can stop recording.